the attribute closure of X, and it can be represented as X plus. So you have your FD closure F plus. Okay, so from your FD closure F plus, you determine the attribute closure of X, which is denoted as X plus. Okay, so we have a small algorithm for finding the closure of an attribute X, which is denoted as X plus. So the input is you are given a set F of FDs on a relation schema R and a set of attributes X, which is a subset of your universal relation schema R. Okay, so we are going to find X plus, which is the attribute closure of X. So this is the algorithm for doing that. So basically what I do is just focus on these two. Let's just focus on these two. Okay. Okay, so for each functional dependency, Y determines Z in F, do if Y is a subset of X plus, then you add the right hand side of that functional dependency to X plus. So X plus is the set which denotes my attribute closure. So you check every functional dependency in your FD set. Okay, and then for each of that functional dependency, if the left-hand side attribute of that functional dependency happens to be a subset of X plus, that means X plus means already the attributes that are available in my attribute closure set. If it's already available, then you add the right-hand side attribute to my to your attribute closure set. You repeat this process. So this is basically it. Okay, so we'll see it with an example. Okay, so we take the example of the previous FD. When we introduced the concept of FD, we saw the same example. So here in this employee project relation, there are three FDs existing. So FD1 is SSN and P number determines hours, which is here, C. FD2 is SSN determines E name, which is A. And FD3 is P number determines P name and P location, which is B. Okay, so I can have three different attribute closure sets because I have three FDs here. So correspondingly, I can have three closures, isn't it? Three attribute closures. The first attribute closure I will compute for SSN. So SSN plus. The second I will compute for P number plus P number, which is P number plus. The third I will compute for SSN P number plus. Okay. Yeah. So I first take SSN. Okay. And we know that any attribute will determine itself, isn't it? Any attribute will determine itself based on reflexivity. So we have in the closure set of SSN, we have SSN. Okay. Yeah. So in the closure set of SSN, which is SSN plus, I have SSN. And now I see, are there any FDs in my FD set which have SSN on the left hand side? Okay, yes, I have an FD SSN to E name. So I add the right hand side attribute to my FD set, not my FD set, my closure set, my attribute closure set. So E name. Now I see whether there are further FDs that have SSN or E name on their left hand side. No, I don't have any FDs with SSN or E name on their left hand side. So that's it. This is the attribute closure of SSN. Similarly, I find for P number. Okay, I'll denote P number by Pn. Okay, Pn. So Pn plus, obviously it will include the attribute P number. Yes, and then you see whether there are FDs with P number on the left hand side. Yes, there is a FD. Then you include P name and P location on P name and P location. Okay. Now, P name, P number, P name, and P location. If there are any further FDs that have these on the left hand side, I have an FDC, okay, with SSN and P number. But you can't include the hours, that is right hand side of this FD. Why? You can't include it in the attribute closure set of P number. Why? Because SSN is not already in the attribute closure set of P number. Okay, so that's it. I stop here. Okay. Similarly, I find the attribute closure of the attribute set here SSN P number. So SSN P number will have SSN P number and then hours. Then, because it has P number, I have an FD here, okay, which has got P number on the left hand side. So I can include all the attributes that comes on the right hand side of this FD to my attribute closure set. Okay, so P name and P location will also form a part of attribute closure of SSN and P number. Okay, I think I have got the solution in the next slide. Yeah, is this clear, all of you? Yeah, so attribute closure of SSN is, which is denoted as SSN plus, is SSN and E name, and attribute closure of P number, which is denoted P number plus, which is P number, P name, and P location. Yeah, and SSN and P number, it has SSN, P number, and then, yeah, we forgot something. Because you have SSN, you can include E name as well. Yeah, I missed it. Okay, P number determines P name and P location. So P name and P location will be forming part of this closure set. Similarly, SSN determines E name. From the FD set A, you can also have E name in this in the closure of this attribute SSN and P number. Okay, so we'll see with more examples till you get that point clear. Okay, so here I have got another example. Here the FD set that is given is student number determines student name, student number determines student phone, student number determines student state, student number determines student country, student number determines student age, and student state determines student country. Okay, so my FD set will consist of how many I have? Let me represent student number as S number. Okay, so S number is my first attribute and S state is my second attribute, isn't it? Yeah, can you share the PPT with us? Yes, of course, we'll be sharing the PPT with you. I think 2 lectures have already been done. So the slides corresponding to those lectures and the question and answers have already been uploaded on ASAP website. Okay, or you can get in touch with ASAP for that. Okay. Okay, so we'll see first the attribute closure of S number attribute. So we know S number will be a part of it. Yeah. And yes, and you have all these FDs which have S number, student number on the left hand side. So student name will go here. Yes, student phone will go here. Student state will go here. Student country will go here, and student age will go. Okay, and are we done? No, we are not done yet because student state already came as one of the attributes in the attribute closure state. So now you have to consider this FD as well because this FD has student state on its left hand side. So you can include, because this attribute already appeared in your closure set, you can include the right hand side attribute of this FD as well in your FD set. Okay, no, sorry, not FD set, the closure set, attribute closure set. Student country also will be forming part of S number. Okay, so you have student number, student name, student phone, student state, student country, student age, and then student country. Okay, and here this is a duplication, isn't it? Yeah, so you just take it off because student country already appeared one time here. So this is a duplication, so you just take it off. Okay, similarly for student state, you will have student state as the first attribute, first element. Student state. Okay, then followed by student state determines student country. Okay, so student country. That's it, isn't it? We don't have any further FD which has student country on the left hand side. So that's it. Okay. So I hope finding attribute closure set is clear to you now. So yeah, this is our solution. Okay, fine. We have yet another example. You are given a relation with these attributes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and there are 4 FDs in the FD set. So you are asked to find the attribute closure sets of A, D, and B, C. Okay. എല്ലാത്തിൻ്റെയും attribute closure set അല്ല 3 എണ്ണത്തിൻ്റെ മാത്രം എയും ഡിയും സിംഗിൾ attribute ആണ്, whereas BC is a combined attribute. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so I find the attribute closure of A. I have to find the attribute closure of D, and I have to find the attribute closure of BC. Okay, this is what I am being asked. Okay, so attribute closure of A, let's do that. So A attribute closure A definitely undavum, and then you see ഏതെങ്കിലും FD ഉണ്ടോ which has A on the left hand side. Yes, we have this FD, first FD. So അതിന്റെ right hand side ഉള്ള B യും C യും will form members of this attribute closure of A. Then B യും C യും left side ഉള്ള, yes, I have got this second FD which has got B and C on the right hand side. So on the left hand side, sorry. So അതിന്റെ right hand side വരുന്ന D, E also are members. Okay, then because D has already appeared, D to F, I can include F. Then C and F already appeared on it, so I can also include G. Clear? Now I find the attribute closure of D. Okay, so D attribute closure set D varum, and then D determines F. And then F left hand side varuna attribute illa, D um F um orumichu varuna left hand side varuna FDs illa. So that's it. Okay. Similarly BC യുടെ attribute closure കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുമ്പോൾ B യും C യും members ആണ്. Okay, then B യും C യും ഒരുമിച്ച് വരുന്നത്, yes, left side ഉണ്ട്. So D and D also become members, isn't it? D and D also become members, and because D is a member, D determines F. F also becomes a member. Then C യും F ഉം already members ആണ്, isn't it? Yeah, C യും F ഉം already members ആണ്, so you can do G also. That's it, isn't it? Next slide. So this is the solution. A, B, C.
Hello, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
let's move on to question and answer session.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Questions that have appeared is regarding YouTube channel and PPT. Already, ma'am's first video has been uploaded in the YouTube channel, and we will be sharing the link. We will be sharing the link. And regarding the PPT, as you requested, it will be uploaded in the as a website Zoom. And one question asked by the person called Saurav Menon is that same city name is possible for 2 different states, then whether FD is valid.
What was the question? Can you please repeat it once more?
Okay, ma'am. Same city name is possible for 2 different states, then
same
whether
city name is possible for 2 different states. Yeah, then that
okay,
will not be valid. Then city name determines state will not be valid, because it will basically violate the definition of an FD altogether, isn't it? You define an FD like this. If you have the same value of if you take 2 different tuples, if you have the same value of X, then you should have agreeing values for the tuple Y, for the attribute Y. That is, if two tuples agree on the value of x, they should also agree on the value of y. Okay, but here you are saying that same state happens to have two cities of the same name, isn't it? But is it a realistic scenario? I am not quite sure. But if it's realistic, then x determines y, or the name of the town or name of the city determines the state. It will not uniquely hold, isn't it? Because you have two different city names or town names determining the state. Like unique determinants alla. Okay. Yeah, so that FD will not hold in that case.
Okay. Ma'am, another person have asked whether minimal cover of set will be covered today.
Yes, that's the plan. But let's see how we go.
Okay, then think there are no more questions. So we can move on to the classes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Srideep. We'll continue. Okay, so here you are given another tutorial where you are given an FD set with 5 FDs. A determines B, A determines C, G determines H, G determines I, B determines H. You are asked to find the attribute closure and the FD closure for the above functional dependencies. Okay, and we know to find the attribute closure, isn't it? Yeah. So here, how many attributes are there? You find the closure of A is given as A plus. You find the closure of CG given as CG plus, and you find the closure of B given as B plus. Right? You are also asked to find the FD closure of this set. So for finding FD closure, what you do? You apply Armstrong's axioms, isn't it? So we'll see. I have the solution in my next slide. So attribute closure, as we mentioned. What's the difference between attribute closure and FD closure? Yeah, that's a good question. See, attribute closure corresponds to, see, you are given an FD closure. Let's start from that point. Okay, so FD closure we know. ഒരു എഫ് ഡി സെറ്റിൽ അടങ്ങുന്ന എഫ് ഡികളും ആ എഫ് ഡി സെറ്റിൽ നിന്നും നമുക്ക് ഡിറൈവ് ചെയ്ത് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇൻഫർ ചെയ്തെടുക്കാവുന്ന എഫ് ഡികളും ഒരുമിച്ച് നമ്മൾ ഇടുന്ന ഒരു പുതിയ സെറ്റിനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ എഫ് ഡി ക്ലോഷർ സെറ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ ആ ക്ലോഷർ സെറ്റിനകത്ത് ആദ്യമുള്ള എഫ് ഡി സെറ്റ് അല്ലാതെ കുറെ പുതിയ എഫ് ഡികൾ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ടാവും ഒബ്വിയസ്ലി, isn't it? Yeah. So ഈ എഫ് ഡി ലിസ്റ്റിൽ നിന്നും നമുക്ക് ആട്രിബ്യൂട്ടിന്റെ ക്ലോഷർ കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചാൽ, ആട്രിബ്യൂട്ട് ക്ലോഷർ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താണ്? ഒരു ആട്രിബ്യൂട്ട് സേ ഫോർ എക്സിന്റെ ക്ലോഷർ നമ്മൾ കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചാൽ എക്സ് ഫങ്ഷണലി ഡിറ്റർമിൻ ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഏതൊക്കെ ആട്രിബ്യൂട്ട്സിനെയാണ് ഈ ടോട്ടൽ ക്ലോഷർ സെറ്റില്, ആ ആട്രിബ്യൂട്ട്സ് ആണ് എക്സിന്റെ ക്ലോഷർ സെറ്റിലെ മെമ്പേഴ്സ് ആയിട്ട് വരുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, സോ ക്ലോഷർ സെറ്റ് ഓഫ് an attribute and closure of an FD are interrelated in that sense. Okay, അതായത് ഈ എഫ് ഡി ഒറിജിനൽ എഫ് ഡി സെറ്റിന് നമുക്ക് ഡിറൈവ് ചെയ്യാവുന്ന പോസിബിൾ എഫ് ഡിസ് എല്ലാം നമ്മൾ ഇൻഫറൻസ് റൂൾ വെച്ച് ഡിറൈവ് ചെയ്യും. ഓക്കെ, യാ, ആൻഡ് ദെൻ attribute closure you find that will give you all the possible attributes that can be determined from this original attribute x. Given x, what are all the attributes that can be determined from this attribute that correspond to this FD closure set F plus. Okay, so that's the relation between the FD closure set and the attribute closure set. Okay, so നമ്മുടെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യനിലേക്ക് നമുക്ക് പോകാം. You are given attribute, you are asked to find attribute closure set and FD closure set. The attribute closure set നമുക്ക് എത്ര attributes ഉണ്ട് ഇതിനകത്ത്? You have to find the closure of A, C, G and B. So we do that. A attribute closure കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചു. A attribute closure എന്താണ്? A attribute closure നകത്ത് B ഉണ്ടാവും. Okay, and A ഉണ്ടാവും, B ഉണ്ടാവും, C ഉണ്ടാവും, and because B determines H, H ഉണ്ടാവും, isn't it? That's it, I think. Yeah, A, B, C, H. Similarly, B closure settle you have B and H. No more attributes. B closure settle B because B determines H. That's it, B and H. And C attribute closure, just see. C, G attribute closure, this and this. We know how to do this. Now, how to find FD closure? So FD closure പറയുന്ന എന്താണ്? The original set of FDs, which is this F, capital F, plus all the FDs that you can infer from this FD set. Okay, so FD closure, that is F plus, is basically the original FD set, capital F, union all the dependencies that you can imply or infer from this original F. Okay, so that's equivalent to, so what was my original FD? My original FD had how many FDs? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, isn't it? So I replace this 5 FDs union. And we know that in order to create a complete FD set, the first 3 axioms of inference rules are enough, isn't it? That's why they are known as Armstrong's axioms. So, sorry, okay. IR1, based on IR1, I see, based on reflexivity property, I see the FDs that can be created from this FD set. Then based on IR2, I see augmentation property, I see what are the new FDs that can be created. So augmentation, A determines B. So from that, I can infer these rules. AC determines BC because I am adding the same attribute C on both sides of this rule. A determines B. A determines B, leftilum, rightilum, C add edal, I get this new FD. Isn't it? AC determines BC. Similarly, if I add G on the LHS and RHS, I get AG determines BG, and so on. Now, arguments, attributes, left hand side, right hand side, add either, we can create many number of new FDs, isn't it? So, those all will come under the FDs that are generated afresh using IR2 or augmentation rule. Similarly, transitivity. നമ്മുടെ FDക്ക് അത് transitivity property apply ചെയ്യാൻ suitable ആയ FDs എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോ എന്ന് നോക്കുക. Yes, we have got one. A determines B, B determines H. So from these two, we can say that A determines H. Okay, so transitivity property വെച്ചിട്ട് you can infer this. Okay, so ഇതിന്റെ എല്ലാം combination, ഈ original 5 FDs നമുക്ക് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അതിന്റെ കൂടെ ഈ 3 axioms വെച്ചിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന പുതിയ FDs, ഇൻഫർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന പുതിയ FDs, ഇതും എല്ലാം കൂടെ ഒരുമിച്ച് you make an union and make a new set that forms the closure of this FD, that is denoted as F plus. Okay, yeah. Okay, so here is a homework for you. Consider the given functional dependencies. You are given an FD set with 6 FDs. Okay, can I get the PPT and YouTube link? Yes, of course you can get. Yeah, so which of the following options is false? Okay, so you can see attribute closure ആണ് ഇവിടെ ചോദിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. So option A, CF attribute ന്റെ closure ആണ്. So CF attribute ന്റെ closure എന്താണ്? CF ല് obviously C ഉം F ഉം ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കും. ഒരെണ്ണം ഞാൻ ചെയ്ത് കാണിക്കാം. The rest 3 you can do at home. Homework, okay? So CF ന്റെ attribute closure. So CF ന്റെ closure സെറ്റിനകത്ത് C ഉണ്ട്, F ഉണ്ട്. Yes, done. Then let's see. C and F left side varuna, you have 2 FDs here, isn't it? So G will form a member, then E will become a member of this. Yeah. Then AB alla, AF illa, DE you can't take. C, G, GA, and G determines A. Okay. And A മാത്രമുള്ള എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോ? ഇല്ല. AF, yes, because this FD, AF determines D, AF determines D, so D also becomes a member. Then DE determines F, F is already a member, you don't have to include. I think that's it. Left. So A, C, D, F, E, G. Okay, so this is true, isn't it? Option A is true. Similarly, find the attribute closure of BG, AF, and AB. One of these is false. Okay, so this is for homework. Now we move to the next important topic, which is equivalence of sets of functional dependencies. Okay, so before that we define an important term which is called as cover. Do I close this? Yeah, I close it. So you define a cover like this: a set of functional dependencies F is said to cover another set of functional dependencies E if every functional dependency in E is also in F plus. Okay, so let's try to depict it with the help of a diagram. Say, you have okay, so I have my set E here, okay, which is a set of functional dependencies E. Okay, then let's assume this is set F plus. Okay, so set of functional dependencies F is said to cover another set of functional dependencies E if every FD in E is also in F plus. So that's the assumption. So that is if every dependency in E can be inferred from F. Alternatively, we can say that E is covered by F. Okay, so this is the definition. Yeah, and then we define another term called as equivalence. Okay, so by cover, what we mean, F plus line, it's a bigger set. Okay, so E is basically a subset of F plus. That's what a cover means. F covers E means, okay, E യിലുള്ള എല്ലാ functional dependencies F plus ഉണ്ട്. That's what F covers E means. Okay, that means we can say that E is covered by F or F covers E. Now we define another term called as equivalence of functional dependencies. Now we consider the closure of E as well. Okay, നമ്മൾ ഇവിടെ closure of F ആണ് നമ്മൾ എടുത്തിരുന്നത്. Now I also consider closure of E. Okay, which I denote by E plus. Okay, and I say that F is here and F is covered by E or E covers F. Okay, so when both of these conditions are true, we say that these two FD sets F and E are equivalent. Clear? So two sets of functional dependencies E and F are equivalent if E plus is equal to F plus, or both the conditions E covers F and F covers E hold. So here E is covering F and F is covering E. Okay, and when two functional dependencies are equivalent, we denote it using this notation. F is equivalent to. This is a notation that is used for denoting equivalence of functional dependencies. Okay, so it will be more clearer when we discuss with an example. The next slide. Okay. So I'm given a relation with schema R, A, B, C with three attributes, and I'm given two FD sets, F and G. Okay, so F is an FD set which has got three FDs. A functionally determines B, B functionally determines C, and C functionally determines A. And G is another FD set with three FDs. C determines B, B determines A, and A determines A. And you're asked to find whether these two FD sets are equivalent FD sets. Okay, so the steps. So when do you say that two different FD sets are equivalent? When both F covers G and G covers F are true, isn't it? That's when you say that F is equivalent to G. Okay, so first let's see F covers G. Okay, first we need to see I first see this case. I ensure F covers G. F covers G, what does it mean? It means that G is a subset of closure of F, isn't it? For that, what do? I need to derive all FDs of G, but with respect to F. I need to derive all FDs of G. G ilulla ella FDs I have to derive, but I have to derive with respect to F. Okay. So this is equivalent to, I find the closure of C. So how many different FDs I have in G, FD set G? I have three, isn't it? 1, 2, and 3. What are the left-hand side attributes? I have C, I have B, and I have A. Okay. So C closure I find, B closure I find, and A closure I find. So first let me find C closure. But I find C closure with respect to F, with respect to FDs that are in the other FD set. Okay, so C closure C definitely on the in other FD set F. F in other C determines A, so A becomes a member, isn't it? And then A left side I have A determines B, so B becomes a member. Okay, and now C determines B ആണ് നമുക്ക് ultimately നമ്മൾ എന്താണ് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കേണ്ടത്? F covers G ആണോ എന്ന് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കണം അല്ലേ? That's what we are trying to prove. അപ്പൊ F G നെ കവർ ചെയ്യണം എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇതിനകത്തുള്ള ഓരോ ജിക്കകത്തുള്ള ഓരോ FD റൂളിന്റെയും അട്രിബ്യൂട്ട് ക്ലോഷർ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുമ്പോൾ ആ സെറ്റില് ഇതിന്റെ റൈറ്റ് ഹാൻഡ് സൈഡ് ഇപ്പൊ C determines B എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ this attribute, check if this attribute B appears in your attribute closure set. Does it appear? Yes, it appears. So that means that this particular FD, C determines B, it is covered by the set F. Clear? Okay. Now I do for the next FD, which is B determines A. And then B plus kandupidikkanam. B plus B is a member. Okay. Then B determines C, so C is a member. Then C determines A, so A is a member. Okay, that's all, isn't it? Because all moon attributes are closure. So, in the right hand side, another A. So, here A vannittund, isn't it? So, this rule is also covered by this FD is also covered by F plus. Okay. Similarly, A closure kandupidikkunnu. A closure I have A. Okay, and for the third rule, I'm checking now for the third FD. A closure has got A and A determines B, so I have got B. Then B determines C, so I have got C. Okay, so A determines C is the role that we are looking at now, and because right hand side where an attribute is in the closure set, so A determines C. This FD is also inferred from, can also be inferred from the FDs in the set F. So by this we can say that F covers G, or G is a subset of F plus. So basically what I try to do, I try to derive all FDs of G from F. Okay, so this is true. Now I want to prove the other way. Okay, I want to prove that G covers F, or F is a subset of G. So this is what I'm going to prove next. I'm going to prove that G covers F, or F is a subset of G. Let's see. So here, what we do, we take each FD in set F and find their attribute closures. So I have attribute closure of A, I have attribute closure of B, and I have attribute closure of C, isn't it? Yeah. So attribute closure of A is a member. Then and remember, this time you look at the FDs. In order to find attribute closure, you look at the FDs in the set G. Okay, so A is already a member, so A determines C, C becomes a member, and then C determines B, so B becomes a member, isn't it? And on my right hand side, I had a B, so B, one no. So this is true. This FD can be inferred from G. Okay, yeah. Then let's take the second FD. B plus kandupidikkunnu, so B plus B is a member. Okay, and B determines A is a member, and A determines C is a member. Okay, so B determines C ആയിരുന്നു നമ്മുടെ rule. So since C വരുന്നു, this is also okay. Okay, it ensures that this rule or this FD, B determines C of the set F, is also covered by the set G. Now, the last FD, which is C determines A, adinte closure set kandupidikkumbo C is a member. Then C determines B, so B is a member. Then B determines A, so A is a member. Okay, so നമ്മുടെ right hand side വരുന്നത് A ആയിരുന്നു, isn't it? So because our attribute closure set contains the element A, you can say that C determines the FD C determines A is also covered by So because all the three FDs in the set F, for all of them, the attribute closure set contains the right hand side attributes, then you can also say that G covers F. Okay, so we have proved that F covers G and also proved that G covers F. So we can say that F is functionally equivalent to G. Clear? So this is how we find functional equivalence of two FD sets. Okay, so I've got more examples. Okay. So I have given two examples here in the slide. So I think, yeah, we'll work out example number 1. Number 2, you can do it as a homework. Okay. So here I'm given two FD sets F and G. Yeah, so let's try. Let's see. First, for the first FD set, I have to prove that F covers G, isn't it? So for that, I will find the attribute closure of A. I'll find that attribute closure of E, isn't it? Because these are the two attributes that come on the left hand side of my FDs in G. Okay, so attribute closure of A, but this I have to find with respect to the rules, FD rules in F, isn't it? So A is a member, then A determines C, so C is a member. AC determines D, so D is a member. Then is that all? E determines A, AC determines H. That's it. Okay. And ഇവിടെ നോക്കൂ, A determines C, D ആണ് നമ്മുടെ റൂൾ അല്ലേ? So C and D are closure setൽ വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞു. Okay. So this means that this FD can be inferred from FD set F. Similarly, I'll see the closure of E plus attribute E. Another E is a member. Then because E determines AD, A and D are members. And E also determines H. H is a member, isn't it? Then A determines C. So A already memberized. So C is also a member. A and C already members are. So AC determines D. D is already a member. You don't have to include. Then E determines AD. That's, isn't it? Yeah. So E determines AH. So A and H are part of this attribute closure set. So this means that this FD is also covered by this FD, isn't it? Okay. Now we'll see the second case. So this proves that F covers G. Now we'll see G covers F. Okay. So for that, I find the attribute closure of all the attributes that come on the left hand side of my FDs in the set F, isn't it? So which are all the attributes? A plus is the first attribute. AC plus is the second attribute. E plus is the third attribute. Then that's it. Like fourth FD E thanneyaanu. So it's enough to find once. Okay. So A plus kandupidikku. A plus A is a member. Okay. Then, but remember this time you have to find it. Find the attribute closure with respect to FDs defined in the set G. Okay. So first I look at the rule A determines C. So A is a member. So A determines CD. Yeah, okay. A determines CD. So C and D are also members. That's it, isn't it? C and D are also members. And E determines AH. Okay, so A determines C are the rule. C already are the member I won. So this is covered. Okay. Then you see the attribute closure of AC. AC A and C members are. Okay. And then because A is a member, CD becomes a member. C already member on, so D member. Okay. E member alla. Okay. So AC determines D on. So E D the member I one. So this is also true. Okay. This is also covered, implied. Okay. Now I find the attribute closure of E, which is E varumanatha. Then what else? A matchum varum alla. Because E determines AH, A matchum varum, and then A varuna already, so C and D. Okay, so E determines AD, AM, DM already attribute closure settled, so this is true, this is covered, and E determines H, H vannu. So this is also covered. So we have also proved that G covers. Okay. So with this, we proved that F covers G, and with this, we proved that G covers F. So we say that F and G are functionally equivalent in this example. Okay. So similarly, you can try it out for example number 2, which is given. Okay. Determine if these two FD sets are equivalent. Okay. So along with that second example, I have one homework for you. I've given 3 different FD sets here: F, G, and G prime. F in Artha, I have 3 FDs. A determines BC, A determines D, and CD determines E. G I have 3 FDs. A determines BCE, A determines ABD, and CD determines E. And G prime or FDA A determines BCDE. So the question is, find any covering set and equivalent sets, if any, from the above. Appo covering set aanengil endana? When do you say that one FD set covers another FD set? The F covers G aanengil, G is a subset of F plus. Alle? Appo nammal nerathe equivalence kandupidichappo aadyam F covers G kandupidichu, pinne G covers F kandupidichu. Alle? So ivide namukku 3 sets thannittund, 3 FD sets thannittund. So you have how many options? F covers G ആണോ എന്ന് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാം, F covers G prime ആണോ എന്ന് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ G covers G prime ആണോ എന്ന് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാം. You have multiple options. G covers F ആണോ എന്ന് നോക്കാം, G prime covers G ആണോ എന്ന് നോക്കാം. Okay, so any covering set, if there is, you find it, and equivalent sets. So covering set ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ one way അല്ല, രണ്ട് വേയും, if the covering is happening, then you can say that those two FD sets are equivalent. Okay, so covering set, equivalent set, you are asked to find given these 3 FD sets. Okay, so that's it. Homework you can try out at home. And if you have any doubts or questions, you can discuss it in the next class. Okay. Yeah. Now, this is the last topic that is scheduled for today. Minimal cover of a set. Okay. So FD set in the cover എന്താണെന്ന് നമുക്കറിയാം. Okay. So cover ഉണ്ട്, but കവറിൽ നിന്നുകൊണ്ട് എങ്ങനെ നമ്മളൊരു മിനിമൽ കവർ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കും. സോ മിനിമൽ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താണ്? എത്ര കുറച്ച് നമ്പർ ഓഫ് FDs കൊണ്ട് ആ സെയിം FD സെറ്റ് നമുക്ക് റെപ്രസെന്റ് ചെയ്യുമോ, ബട്ട് ദിസ് ന്യൂ FD is still equivalent, logically equivalent to the old FD. So that minimal set, you call it as the minimal cover. Okay, the minimal cover of a set of functional dependencies E is a minimal set of dependencies. So in the standard canonical form, so idine nammal canonical form ennulla FD ennu parayum. It's otherwise known as in standard canonical form, and it doesn't have any redundancy, but that is still functionally equivalent to E, the original FD set. Okay, so we can always find at least one minimal cover for any set of functional dependencies. Given any set of functional dependency, oru minimal cover endalum namukku find cheyan pattum. Okay, yeah. And we'll see. These are the conditions. Okay, set of functional dependencies F is minimal if it satisfies the following conditions. Which are those conditions? Every dependency in F has a single attribute on its right hand side. Right hand side illa single attribute matram undavuga. That's the first thing. Aa FD set ilulla FD gal ella FD ed FD eduthalum RHS should be singleton. Okay, that's the first condition. Second condition, we cannot replace any dependency X determines A in F with another dependency Y determines A, where Y is a proper subset of X. If Y happens to a subset of X, Y determines A vechi namukku X determines A replace cheyan pattilla, and still have a set of dependencies that is equivalent to F. Okay, subset aanengil it's already implied, adine namukku aa subset kondu namukku replace cheyan pattilla. Okay, അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സബ്സെറ്റ് ഉള്ള ഒരു FD എക്സിസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പാടില്ല മിനിമൽ സെറ്റിൽ. That's what it means. Okay, and the third one, we cannot remove any dependency from F and still have a set of dependencies that is equivalent to F. That corresponds to redundancy. Okay, redundant ആയിട്ടുള്ള FDs ഒന്നും ഉണ്ടാവാൻ പാടില്ല. Redundant FDs ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് റിമൂവ് ചെയ്യാം. Then you get a minimal. അപ്പോൾ ഒപ്റ്റിമൽ ഇതിനകത്ത് ഒരു redundant FDs ഉണ്ടാവാൻ പാടില്ല. redundant FD ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ always you can remove that and still have an FD that is equivalent to original set of FDs. Okay, so these three are the properties. Okay, here we have an algorithm. So initially you have a set of functional dependencies E, you assign it to F. Okay, and then this is the first step. You replace your right hand side. You replace all FD's right hand side with singleton attribute. So X determines A1 till AN ഒരു FD ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ you convert or decompose that FD into n constituent FDs like this. X determines A1, X determines A2 till X determines AN. Okay, equivalency check ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഏതെങ്കിലും okay, Devika, I couldn't read it completely. You can send it to me once the session is over, or during the discussion time we can discuss it. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So for each, that's the first step. You decompose your right hand side into individual or singleton attributes. Second step, for each functional dependency, X determines A in X. For each attribute B, that's an element of X. Yeah, Shrideep.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah.
Time is up. So I think we can directly move to the Devika's question. You have right code right now.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Devika. Minimal cover. Can you please solve it, please? Yeah, the minimal cover, actually, we are still discussing the algorithm of minimal cover. In the subsequent slides, I have given some examples. One tutorial with complete solution and one other tutorial which I plan to solve. But due to lack of time, we'll not be doing it today in today's session. In the next session, we'll be starting from this.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah. Shrideep.
Okay, I think the time is almost up. So I think we will be winding right now.
Okay. Yeah, Elias Thampi, can you please pose the question if it's an urgent question? Yeah, Shrideep, yeah, one student was asking solution, minimal cover resolution for a particular FD set. So I can solve it. So Elias was a student, I believe. So Elias, you can send the question to the team. I'll solve it and post the solution immediately. Okay.
Okay.
We have not yet discussed the steps in the class. Once the steps are discussed clearly, you will be able to do it yourself. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. Okay, Elias. So any other question? We had Akash and Devika, where we can ask our doubt. I think during the session, you can ask your doubts like this by way of chatting. But even after the session is done, I think ASAP provides a forum, isn't it? Shrideep, can you please explain? After the session is done, if the student has a question, where can they post it?
Okay, ma'am, it's me, Neeta. Yeah, I would like to inform you that if the students have any doubts which is not answered during this live session, we will be collecting all the questions and we'll be sharing to you on offline mode, and we have their mail ID so we can give the answers in offline mode. Since we will be continuing these sessions in next days, we can answer then also.
Yeah. Okay, so I hope the student who had this question, it is clear. So you can post your questions offline. All those will be collected. Can I get the private classes? I didn't quite understand, Abin, what you are talking about. Share the PPT? Yes, of course. The PPT of lecture 1 has already been uploaded, as your ASAP facilitators were saying. So the subsequent slides also will be made available to you. Yeah, so anyone else with any other question for today's session?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, then I think we'll wind up for today. and we'll meet in the next class. I didn't understand minimal cover. Okay. So Unni, I haven't covered that topic. It's not yet over. We were in the midst of discussing the algorithm for finding minimal cover. So in next class, it will be clear to you. Okay. So please keep watching ASAP website. Just tune in for the next session on this subject. We'll start from where we left today. Okay.
Hope everyone enjoyed the session, and I think ma'am will be back in the same platform soon, and we will be able to continue the session where we have stopped right now. So you can clear any doubts regard to this minimal and everything in the next session itself.
Yeah. Thanks, Annu.
Okay,
Thanks.
so,
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Asap. Shrideep. Thank you. And yeah, thank you, everybody.